People love getting up close to wild animals, and why not? They're beautiful, strange, and powerful enough to scare us a little. But we're not the only ones who enjoy it. Sometimes animals want to go on a safari of their own and come visit us for a change. These animals decided to pay people a visit. Luckily, they were just friendly hellos and nobody got hurt.
Good Lord, Lawrence, why are you slapping a monkey?
Ready to take a look? Let's get it on! You know how when your parents build the only pool in the neighborhood, everyone suddenly wants to be your friend?
No.
Well, this is just like when the person who's bullied you for the last 3 years shows up at your house like your best buddies just because they want to dip in the water on a hot day. They weren't invited, but who's going to tell them no? Not you, that's for sure.
Yeah, we should just go. Just let nature take its course.
Who knows what the consequences might be? You just gotta let it happen and hope someone else is going to come along and get rid of them for you. Or frankly, you're just going to let them have the pool all to themselves forever. The phrase fashionably late still holds true for good reason. It's usually not good to be the first to arrive. And this young bear has clearly showed up too early to this pool party, long before his host was expecting him. He tries to act casual for a while, but it quickly gets too awkward to handle. So what do you do in a situation like that but to tactfully and discreetly try to wake up your sleeping host? Alright, in this case, maybe that wasn't the best idea. That poor bear is going to have to find new friends. The shame is just too much. It seems mountain lions are big safari enthusiasts.
Hello, can I help you?
They just love going to look at humans in their natural habitats. Just like humans, this mountain lion was caught on camera taking her 3 children to the zoo to look at the people. They seem pretty happy just walking around this person's back garden and into the neighborhood to see how many more people they can spot. And this isn't the only time. There's a surprising amount of footage of mountain lions in the suburbs peeking into human houses the same way we do when we go on safari to look at them. Everyone needs their own superhero, and this is the raccoon's one. I don't know which villain was operating in this skyscraper, but Raccoon Man was on it. He was determined to save all those poor humans trapped inside the building and thwart evil while he did it. But the villain was smarter than Raccoon Man thought. He bolted all the windows shut to keep Raccoon Man out. Raccoon Man's only option was to summon all the strength he had and climb all the way to the very top of the evil skyscraper headquarters and enter the building via the vents on the roof. But will he make it? Yes, of course he will. He's Raccoon Man, vanquishing evil yet again. Gang wars don't just happen between humans. This gang of lions is keen to show humans who's boss. They don't care if you have a car and they don't. This is their turf, and you're not gonna push them around. Humans can only dream of walking with that kind of swagger. Nobody's gonna take them on. Both you and the traffic will wait for them, and that's just the way they like it. Sometimes an animal's habitat is just as interesting as the animal itself because it reveals so much about them. This bear certainly believes that. He carefully broke into this family's home while they were asleep, being careful not to disturb them so he could investigate their habitat. He's clearly some kind of anthropological researcher because a normal bear would never open the fridge just to peek inside. They would steal food from it. No, this bear is just trying to find out what humans eat, how they function in their home, what tools they use, and all those types of sciencey things. Some people just love hogging the spotlight. These lemurs are some serious show-offs, and they weren't about to just let this reporter take over the show, even if the show was rightfully his. No, they were made to be on camera, and they were obviously determined to prove it. I hate to say it, but the lemurs were right. This guy doesn't handle the situation particularly well. The lemurs, on the other hand, can do tricks, slapstick, and they have great costumes. They might as well just give the show to them now. This film crew had been out all day filming Komodo dragons in the wild. Little did they know that one of their subjects had decided to make it easier for them to capture him on camera by climbing into their bathroom. I guess they can be glad he decided to pay them a visit in the daytime rather than when they were stumbling half asleep into the bathroom in the middle of the night. He was just giving them what they wanted. He might not have been in his natural environment, but they sure did get a lot of Komodo dragon footage. There are plenty of animals that make good bedfellows, like a cat maybe, because they're soft and cuddly and they can keep you warm at night. These snakes obviously think these people want them in their bed, but I can't say I agree.
My question is, what the hell?
Or maybe they had a more sinister motive. Whatever their purpose, it's not nice to hide inside people's mattresses no matter what kind of animal you are. Just knock on the door and say hi like a good house guest. Let's face it, lions are too cool for you. They're never gonna let a human into their gang. You might have better luck joining the monkeys instead. They're a group of highly skilled, brazen thieves that operate outside the law. They'll steal your sunglasses, hats, shoes, even your phone, and you'll never see it coming. But don't be fooled. These monkeys aren't petty thieves. They're far more advanced than that.
Bruh, look at this dude. Look at his hair.
And they've seen too many mafia movies. They don't want your sunglasses, they want your food, the good stuff, and they'll hold you to ransom for it. Just watch the tactics this one pulls out. He's only interested in the best food, not stupid peanuts, and he has the guy's phone, so he knows he has the upper hand. One final threatening snarl to just show him who's boss, and the deal's done. Call Scorsese, we have his next film. The monkeys have yet to get caught, but if they do, we know who they're calling. This is Stoffel the honey badger, and he's notorious for breaking out of what are essentially high-security badger prisons.
What did you say?
Sure, he was put in there for his own safety after he had an encounter with some lions after breaking into their enclosure, but only the toughest animals would break into a lion's house, so it won't surprise you that he doesn't care why he's locked away. He wants to prove he can escape, and then he wants to rub your nose in it. As the lions will tell you, he doesn't only know how to break out, he can break in too. He escapes pretty frequently and breaks into his keeper's bedroom just to let him know he'll never be outsmarted. There are some friendships so strong that they will never be broken no matter how long you're separated for. Animals feel that way too. This penguin was found covered in oil and starving to death by his human friend. Joao the human nursed Din Dim the penguin back to health and tried to set him free, but Din Dim didn't want to leave. Eventually he did, and everyone said he wouldn't come back, but he returns to the Brazilian coast every year to spend a few months with his retired fisherman friend. That's what I call true love. You know how Tarzan is a story about a human raised by apes? Well, this is just like Tarzan if it had been written by pelicans. This not-so-little guy lost his flock in a storm when he was a baby, and these humans took him in to try and help. They're trying really hard to teach him how to do pelican things like flying, and he's kind of getting the hang of it, luckily, since their best way to teach him was to run up and down the beach while flapping their arms around. But even though he's learning to be a pelican, he clearly still likes doing human stuff like fishing from a boat. It's entertaining, but also difficult having a naughty child in the house. It's even more challenging when that naughty child is a super curious baby elephant. This little orphan was saved from drowning and now pretty much lives in the house. It likes to inspect everything, but that's not necessarily a good thing when you're this clumsy. But still, it's so cute, it would be difficult not to forgive it when it's sleeping on the couch, getting excited by shiny things or trying to steal brownies off the kitchen counter just like any child would. Animals and humans can be friends too. Sure, it's rare, but when that happens, the animals like to come round for a visit just like humans do. This bison's called Wild Thing, and while he lives up to that name when he's out in his field, he's the exact opposite when he comes over to see his human friends in their house. Even though he's obviously huge, he approaches everything in the house delicately and never knocks anything over or stands on anyone's feet. He might not look like someone you want around, but he's actually the ideal guest.